Renewed push on a debate that's been had several times here in Connecticut in the legislature. Should grocery stores be allowed to sell wine? Package store owners are saying no way. This morning, Girish Patel, Director of Operations for Bottle Stop Wine and Spirits, joins us. Why he says allowing grocery stores to sell is nothing more than a, quote, corporate cash grab. And in today's committee close-up, the lawmakers deciding what education looks like for children in our state. Leaders of the Education Committee join us to discuss everything from pandemic learning loss to changing state curriculum, COVID-19 vaccine mandates, and politics in the classroom. A deep dive into their upcoming legislation that you won't want to miss. Good morning, and thanks for joining us on The Real Story. I'm Jenn Bernstein. In Connecticut right now, you buy your wine at package stores. A lot of these businesses are family-owned, and they have the exclusive rights to provide you with your vino. But that could change. Lawmakers are once again considering a proposal that would allow grocery stores to sell you wine. It's a decades-old debate here in the state, and each time it's been brought up in the past, it hasn't had legs, so to speak. But concerns over hurting package stores top of mind over the years, and there's a renewed push once again brought on by supermarkets. The bill has been raised in the General Law Committee, and you will be able to weigh in when it goes to a public hearing scheduled for February 2nd. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. We want to welcome Girish Patel here, Director of Operations for a local package store, Bottle Stop Wine and Spirits. This is a family-owned business that you all have. Thanks for coming on the program.
Thank you for having us.
Okay, so first of all, tell us about your business, because you all own 5 package stores,
Yep,
right?
so my family's been in business for over 35 years in the state. I'm second generation ownership, and we've got 5 locations throughout Connecticut. We're really proud of the Connecticut package store scene, amazing business opportunities that it's provided so many people, including my family.
Okay, wonderful. So this proposal comes up once again, and you all hear that the grocery stores are pushing for this. Your reaction to that as a family-owned business and as someone who owns package stores here in the state?
Well, so, it's no surprise that supermarkets want wine sales in their stores. It's one of the most profitable products in adult beverages, and of course they're looking to fill their aisles with more profitable products constantly. It's their, it's what business does. What I say though is that Connecticut consumers stand to lose in the long run because of this. If passed, you'll find that there's going to be a shift in the landscape where Connecticut consumers will lose access to a wide variety of products. They'll definitely experience a diminished level of service, and of course it's going to have a major impact on the small business scene here in Connecticut.
Yeah, tell us how detrimental it would be to you all, package stores here in the state.
Well, honestly, wine is the most profitable product that we sell in the package store. So even if it might be a, say, third of the revenue of any given store, it'll easily be over 50% of its margins. So 50% of this profits derive from the wine product. And from there, all of our other bills are able to be taken care of, all of our other major expenses. So you remove that one component from being exclusively available in our stores, and obviously there's a domino effect on what things we're able to achieve financially.
Do you think that stores will have to close if this passes?
I think it doesn't take rocket science to determine that this will have a major negative blowback on what package stores' ability to be profitable is. And so as a result, I do believe a significant number of stores will be closing, yes.
You know, the supermarkets argue that this is a matter of convenience for their customers, as you were just kind of saying, and they're making this serious push right now. They say that their customer wants it, that the customer is demanding it. Your thoughts?
So what's interesting is I sell wine for a living, and I've talked to hundreds of customers, if not thousands of customers over the past year about this subject, and not one single customer has mentioned to me that they've had a difficult time acquiring a bottle of wine. I personally believe that this is a matter of intellectual dishonesty on the supermarket side. Isn't it interesting that they've managed to manufacture an issue on wine availability and convenience, and they so happen to have the solution, which leads to greater profits for their stores? Never once has anyone complained about getting a bottle of wine in Connecticut, and that's because there's 1,200 stores throughout the state, and generally speaking, there's always going to be a package store either right next door to a supermarket, at the end of the strip mall, or maybe even across the street.
Okay, let's talk about the language of the bill, because it was released last week, so we're finally getting an idea of what exactly lawmakers are thinking, or people are thinking when they're going to be looking at this bill, an act authorizing grocery stores to sell cider and small winery wines. So they're not saying you can just sell any wine, according to this. They're somehow limiting it. So, and I want to read what the definition of small winery is. It means a farm winery, or winery group that 17 manufactures not more than 100,000 gallons of wine per provided cider and small winery. So 100,000 gallons, that's not small.
I'm going to tell you right now, 100,000 gallons constitutes probably 97% of the wine made in America. So for us to say that there's 100,000 gallons of availability and that constitutes small, I think that I don't think that they're paying close attention to what that really means, and I'm thinking that they're hoping that that gets by and is going to mean greater access to not just small wines but the full spectrum of wine products available in Connecticut, which again would be dramatically hurtful to package store owners.
Another piece of language in the bill is we were noticing it says that they wouldn't be able to sell, grocery stores wouldn't be able to sell on the premise of any grocery store located closer than 1,000 feet from the premises of operating under a package store permit that's issued. I'm terrible at reading the actual language in these, but basically what they're saying is that the grocery store won't be able to sell within 1,000 feet of a store that's operating under a package store permit. What's your thoughts on that?
My thoughts on that are, very interestingly, they're going to try and phrase it where they're going to have this geographic exclusion. Well, that's only a matter of time, right? When they're allowed to sell wines of 100,000 gallons or less, we know that that's them saying that they want a majority of wine labels available to them. And when they take those labels and put them in their store, they're going to siphon away traffic from the store. So even if there is a store that is within 1,000 feet, the grocery store that is just a little bit further away is going to do enough damage to that store where they won't be in business for more than 24, 36 months at best. And of course, that grocery store then opens up the opportunity to have wine in their store. So it's tongue-in-cheek. They're trying to chip away at small business here, and I see this as just clever language to try and find a way to step on the backs of small business owners and operators and their most profitable product.
And when we're talking about these supermarkets, who are we talking about here? Are we talking about small, supermarkets here in the state? Because it sounds like a lot of them are larger chain supermarkets that are pushing for this?
Well, so, the state of Connecticut has a wide variety of supermarkets and grocery brands, but I think if you take a look at who's really pushing this, it's got to be, I see it as being Big Y, Stop and Shop, Whole Foods, ShopRites. These are major corporations. These are stores that do millions upon millions of dollars every month. And those are huge companies. They're not small, they're deep-pocketed, and I don't think that they need another profit center, especially if it means that it's going to be on the backs of small business.
All right, February 2nd is when this public hearing is going to be held. The great thing about public hearings is you can weigh in as a resident here in the state. You can come and make your opinion either way on what you want, and you all are going to be showing up, I would assume, for this public hearing.
Correct. We're going to have approximately 1,000 people from the package store industry, retailers, wholesalers, suppliers, sales reps, employees, showing up to show the Connecticut General Assembly that this is impacting real lives. These are Connecticut residences. These are these are people that require this business and this industry to pay for their kids' college tuition, to put braces on their kids, to take them to karate lessons. This is going to have a real impact right here in Connecticut.
And I do want to note that we did invite the Connecticut Food Association on for this segment. We were hoping to have kind of a back and forth. They're organizing the push for supermarkets here. They didn't want to come on the program at the time, and I just want to read this exactly as they said. They said the debate between the grocers and package stores at this early stage of our campaign is probably best for the legislative public hearing soon to take place, but they said that they hope they can come on the show sometime in the future. So we would certainly love to have them on to hear their side. But Girish, I really appreciate you coming on. Last push to people out there who are watching this issue closely.
Yeah, this is an important issue because I believe it talks about what Connecticut represents. Do we want to champion corporate retail or do we want to champion small business? Do we want to strengthen that tier, or do we want to dilute it and ultimately create a marketplace that is less than perfect for the consumer, less than strong for the consumer? We don't want to weaken their opportunities and their availability, and I think this bill does all of those things.
All right, Girish Patel, thank you very much. We will certainly be covering that hearing that's happening on February 2nd.
Thank you.
All right, coming up, today's committee close-up is with the leaders of the Education Committee. They are going over changes that could be coming to your child's school experience and the role that you play in passing them or halting them in committee. Stay with us for this breakdown of educational legislation from cafeteria food to classroom curriculum.